Good morning, friends. This is Amol Zatkar. I'm, I'm a .NET developer, but currently learning artificial intelligence. And I have created one POCs after reading through the internet and going through others some content from the internet. So I have created one POC for the one of the POC which will analyze the document, and then it will generate the tag out of the that document, and will also give you the important keywords that which is in context that we ask in the ask to the AI. So actually, before learning the means directly going to the AI, how means how we have created. So basically, who is a learner, new learner in the AI? He he needs to first learn what is AI. Like to learn the AI, he needs the knowledge of the Python, basically, and Python. In if he start learning into the Python, then it will take also 6 months, at least 6 months to learn the Python. But now, in the in the in the era of AI, you don't need to learn each and everything in the Python. If you are a developer, or if you have good technical understanding, then you can easily understand the code from the any language that is written. And now AI made your life very easy, that he can give you the code. If you ask, give me the code for the two adding a two numbers, he will easily give you, and you can understand, you can paste here and you can run it, right? Then after that, after Python, you will need algorithms knowledge. That was the initial concept, that what are the algorithms, machine learning algorithm. Do we need to learn that? No, now the AI is already have created a multiple models in the AI that you can easily use. But you just need a knowledge what exactly model you want to use for your use case. That is the one thing you need to learn. And then after that, the now the concept of agentic AI or AI agents is evolved out, where you need to uh, that, uh, uh, that is even very advanced topic, and even very easy to understand. Now you don't need to uh, see how the algorithm works, and that you don't need to take care of it. So that is been already take care. You just need to select which model of the LLM you need to see. So what is LLM? That are the things you need to learn for the agentic AI or AI agent development. So uh, how exactly the AI works. Like before AI, what we used to do as a developer, if we want some technical help, what we used to do, we used to go to Google and search whatever we need, right? What Google used to give us is whatever we search, like whatever the content available on the internet, the Google will give you that, right? Now that is the search engine base, right? But now the content which we are getting from the AI is the generated content. That is why it is called as the generative AI, right? So whatever the context you are giving, it is using his sources, his algorithm, and it is generating the content for you, and it is giving out to you, right? That is the for this generating the content, you need to remember one most important thing, that is the context. Because based on your context only, it will your generate the content for it, right? The context is very important uh, here, right? And in the AI, like in the, how this context is generated, basically how this context is created, like whatever the data you are having, right? So if you are using if you want to if you want to create a agent for the automobile industry, right? So your expectation is like it should work only on the automotive data. if if your agent for the automobile industry, if he started working on the hospitalized or hospital industry or medical industry, then it will not work, it will not give you the proper result, right? So that context basically is the main thing. And how that to go into that, what we are generally doing is, in while developing a AI agent or agentic AI application, to build the context, we have some specific terms like tokenization of the data. Tokenizing means creating the tokens out of it, uploading it into the database. Okay, and then while querying to the LLM is large language model, right? So currently whatever the models are developed, most of the people knows what is LLM, because when they are started the agentic AI or this generative AI study, they know the large language model, like means there the entire data is stored like in the vector database form. Like if I say cat cat food is milk, right? So like the in the vector, if cat denotes to the milk, then uh, if man can if for man vegetable and other whatever the man eats, it will be on the same distance in the vector database. If you understand how the data is stored in the vector DB, that is basically based on the uh, distance, right? That is how this data is stored, and then we need to pick up that. So the one that thing we need to remember, storing the database, like uh, tokenizing it, and then uh, creating the context out of it, and then we are retrieving that DB as a context, and we are passing that context to the LLM. This, and then that LLM will give you the result based on your context, right? That is how the LLM works. Now in I will, and there are some concept, if you go on the while learning it, you need to see how to store the DB, how to retrieve the database from the vector DB, how to create a context out of that, then how to give it to the LLM, how to create a prompt. You can also learn regarding the prompt also, right? Uh, how to create a prompt, and once you give to the prompt, it will give you the result. Then you can generate a workflow using the LangGraph. There are some uh, what you can say, LangGraph, LangChain, uh, FastAPI, Pydantic, uh, again MCP, Model Context Protocol. Model Context Protocol is just a standardized way, like we have the REST in REST is a one standardization for calling, creating the APIs, right? So in the generative AI, MCP is the one standardized way where we have the MCP server and MCP client and MCP host. MCP, that concept is like that. MCP host will have a client, and client will request it from the server, and then whatever the tools are available on the server, it will call to a specific server using the LLM, and then it uses the right way to call the tools. That is why it calls as a standardized way to use the MCP. Okay, so whatever the application we have or POC we have created, I won't go in much details about how the agentic AI works. You will get to know. But what I wanted to show, if you have learned something, then you will understand what I want to, what my POC does. I have one POC where we are uploading the PDF documents, and uh, uh, I wanted to generate a tags out of that document. That was my main aim. And why the tags is important in the corporate industry, if you know, if you work on any content creation or any some kind of projects, where why the tags in the document are important, because they are very important while creating the content. And means what are the target audience, right? So that will also defined by this tag, where it should be distributed while creating, distributing target audience, this, and who should view this, who should not view this, all this can be means related to the tags. That is why there are they have, if any analyst is creating any content for any industry, then they have some particular team to tag this document with the particular tags, right? So if we have we have this workforce to just to tag the document, right? So we can minimize this by means automating this process. Like the document are mainly some categorization of the document will be there, some particular type of the document it will be, and whenever the analyst will be creating this, our POC can easily generate the tag, right? Rather than the team will be evaluating the document, reading it, and looking out what are the tags it needs, and then they will be tagging that document to that tags, right? So it will be very easy task for that team to just take a tags out of this tool, and they will just tag it to that document, right? So uh, means we can reduce the effort here. That is what the uh, here. So I will just go into the technical details, like what are the things we will need. We will need one fast API, where I have created one fast API, like a fast API in the sense API which will give you, which will call some function and give you the data. Like UECon will need to run the fast API, then PDF, because we are working with the PDF document, so we need this PDF libraries. Then Streamlit also, I have created a demo with the Streamlit, and both using the LangGraph also. The request is for the API. Definitely this request library is required to call the uh, API. And then LangGraph is to define the workflow. Like I have created the workflow, like we will give the PDF files, okay, and then we will analyze whether it is investment related PDF, then we will create a tag out of it. We will generate the tag out of it or keywords out of it. And then if it is not related to investment related, then we'll just simple, for the sake of playing with the code, I have just given the workflow, like if it is not an investment related, then it should translate into the Hindi. This is just a POC, so I just created like this. LangChain, Grok, LangChain core, LangChain Grok. Like I am using the Grok LLM model, so I am using the Grok libraries over here, and the typing extensions and all that we will need it for the Pydantic. Like Pydantic, like means whenever we are using some custom classes, that time to validate it, we need a Pydantic library. So this is about this requirement.txt. Requirement.txt is like whenever we are creating any virtual environment or any project in the AI, so we want to install the package one by one, like from the Python install and package name. Instead of that, we can just give the entire package name inside the requirement.txt, and then we can just use the command. If we are using the virtual environment, then pip install minus r requirement.txt. If you can, I can show you also, if that is that in the terminal, if we open, forget about this error. I'll just, now you can see, maybe my command is already there. Yeah, conda list, conda activate. This is, yeah, this is one uh, virtual environment that we have created using the conda, and now we will activate it. Okay, using conda activate we, okay, and then uh, like I will show you what exactly the API we have created. Okay, now and again, when I was developing this project actually, uh, I was facing some issues or errors. So just to understand the issues, I have also imported the logging over here. So you can just see the logging is there, fast API you can see here. And then we have created uh, the for logging purpose, we have for this fast API.py file, we have a log file that app.log, and here is the logging setting that is very common. You need to use the same thing whenever you are doing the logging, and this is the logger object available, and then the fast API library like we are using. So this is how we, and this line denotes the how you create how you create a model out of the grok we are using. The model, the it needs a API key. I have given it in the I have set it into the environment variable, so it will call it from there and it will create a model out of here. Okay, and then this is the function like the API means what we are using some exposing the functions to outside world. That is what the API is, right? So here we are uh, create we are taking the list of PDF files. Okay, and we are processing the files. If the file does not have any data, then we will return it that the no data available, no text found in the file. Okay, and if the file has a data, and then we need to analyze if it is investment related or not, then the best thing is we need to create a prompt basically is the context that we are providing to the context information. Prompt is very important while using the agentic AI. Okay, agentic AI or any generative AI, the prompt is very important thing. That prompt we are using this stream, this three double quote, and then the string we call is as a stream string, and this is very important to give the prompt inside the stream string, because it understand or helps a LLM to understand it. Okay, then this is a like what is our purpose is, we are saying LLM that you are a very good investment advisor. Now what task we are giving him, decide if this document, whatever the uploaded PDF we are giving him, decide if this document is investment related, and how he should decide it, only if this document contains any data related to the stock market. Okay, if it is the investment related, then extract the investment tag investment investment tag in the JSON list and some keyword in the keyword JSON list. Okay, if it is not investment related, then translate the content into the Hindi. That is how the uh, uh, command we are providing to the LLM, we can say. Okay, and then just to avoid the long processing of the document, we are limited down this text size to the 30 character, 3000 character. We are uh, analyzing it. Okay, and then just this is the common syntax to create and model, call and model. Just you call that LLM, like we need to give the LLM model, and then the message you are user, and prompt is whatever the text we have given, and this, and then whatever the output we are giving, we are getting, we are collecting the first record out of that, and we are and we are collecting it in the result. Okay, and we are resulting or returning it like file name and the analysis. Exception handling also I have covered here, and the second one, sorry, this one the log, and how to call this API. This was the fast API dot app uh, Python file. Then we have just created one Python file where we will call this API, right? So this this is basically this is basically the Streamlit one. I will first show you the LangGraph one. LangGraph is like LangGraph we use to generate a flow. Like whenever we have any flow, workflow to decide, then we used to create the LangGraph, like start point, some functions it will call, it will take some decision, and then it will give some output to you. That is what the LangGraph is basically. And to LangGraph again, while using the LangGraph, we have used that Grok API, and we have created the model here, and we have called that API. If you see here, like analyze PDF, if you can see the function name which we have given here is the analyze PDF, right? Analyze PDF, right? The same function we are calling here inside this app URL. Okay, and this to create a graph, we need a object that is called as the state. State is the one important object that which will maintain the state of the graph, which will have some field, whatever we want to, like I want to maintain the file path, I want to return the analysis whatever the LLM will give you, I want to return it into the string analysis. Okay, so here, and then to translate it into the Hindi, I am giving this again one prompt: translate the following, whatever the analysis is came out. If it is not related to investment related, if it is not investment related, then we need to translate it in the Hindi. So whatever the output that LLM model will give, we will pass it here again in this prompt, and we'll again call the LLM to translate it. This is how this two times LLM will be called. One is in the fast API and another is in this uh, calling Python file. Okay, and this will just for means I just wanted to check what are the thing means, I was just playing with it, so I created this translate to Hindi. Otherwise this was not needed, or not needed, was not part of this POC. Okay, so here uh, we have created one analyze files, one function here, and here what we are calling here, uh, we are calling that API here using this post API URL, and whatever the data we are getting, we are just displaying it into the uh, displaying it. And this code is to create a graph, like first node will be created, then it will like entry point will be analyze. Okay, and then analyze node will call the analyze files function, and then after analysis it will end. Okay, and just to create a graph, we need to definitely compile it. Okay, and we need to call it, we need to write down this code to call it, like we need to give the sample PDF files here. Okay, and we are calling it, we are invoking that uh, graph using the app.invoke, whatever the graph uh, after compilation the variable we got, we are invoking that graph using this input state. Input state will have this PDF file, and it will print the result whatever we have. So first thing we just understand it here, like how to run it. Like first we need to run the API, because we have created the API, so we need to run the API. To run the API, we have this command uvcon fast API colon app reload port, on which port we want to run this API. Then log level is equal to debug, because we are logging this because we need to I was doing the some code fixing, so I just run this command. Once you run this, it will make your API up. Okay, okay, well, again we are getting this error, because this error says that the API key, he is not getting the API key. So again we need to run one more command to good that we got this error basically. because he is not getting the API key. We need to set this into the environment variable. So I'm just copying it from my another file. Okay, and then we can run it here again. Why, this is a free Grok API key. You can also generate it. Okay, now if you run this, it should run now. Now this is running. Unicon will be running this API on this port, on this IP on this port. Okay, this is basically the localhost port, localhost IP address, and this port we have given. Okay, so while calling it, so this is now running. Now we need to add one more terminal. Now our API is up. Now what we need to do is we need to call that API using the LangGraph. Okay, again we'll go inside the PDF, analyze. Okay, again we'll activate our virtual environment here. What is a virtual environment is like for your a specific project, you want your libraries to be installed at specific location. So you will be creating that specific location, and your all the whatever the requirement.txt is containing the library will be installed over there, and that will be easily maintainable. So that's why the virtual environment is created. Okay, now we need to just run this by, yeah, langgraph client. If you see Python langgraph client, langgraph underscore client dot py, then this will learn, it will analyze this sample PDF, and it will give you the, yeah, if you see now, your this document, this document this is the breakdown that this document has. This investment tags like portfolio, application, and risk assessment, and market. These are the, and this document has some keyword which is related to the investment recommendation, investor profile, wealth accumulation. Okay, and I can show you the uh, I can show you this PDF also after. Just I will show you the sample PDF, how it looks like basically. Mm, see what is- Okay, so this is how it runs. I will show it now. I'm facing some system issue, so I cannot show it right now. So this is what guys we have developed. Okay, thank you.